Welcome to the e-learning session, Lean Six Sigma Black Belt Training. We are in Module 1. Before coming to the Module 1, I would like you people to understand one thing. Cultivating statistical knowledge, all the participants who are going through this Lean Six Sigma Black Belt e-learning session, I would request them to download a free trial version of the Minitab tool. Minitab is globally the most commonly used statistical tool where there are quite a few statistical analysis which we do in the course of our learning. So it would be good if you could also do the practice as per the process laid down in the materials. You can use any of these two links given over there. Install the free trial version, which is valid for 1 month on your laptop, and then proceed further. Module 1. In Module 1, we will discuss about Lean Six Sigma concepts. The three terminologies of who is the customer, what is quality as per customer, and what is defect as per customer are the three pillars of Six Sigma, because the total concept of Six Sigma is routed across these three terminologies. Now, who is a customer? Customer could be defined as that entity to whom we provide our products and services. If it is a manufacturing organization, we provide products. If it is a service-related organization, we provide services. What is quality? Now, before coming to quality, customers from the Six Sigma standpoint are of two kinds. So one is a external customer who are external to our organization or called the end customers. Another customer is the internal customer. Our internal management, our CMD, CEO, COO, CFO, our middle management, our leadership team, our senior management, our employees, all are our internal customers. Now, what is quality? Quality could be defined anything which is fit to use by the customer. If I want to elaborate on this, quality could be defined as that entity which meets or exceeds the customer's expectations. So quality should be termed always from the perspective of the customer. And what is defect? Defect is just opposite to quality, anything or everything that does not meet the customer's expectation. Quality means different to different customers. Every customer could have a different quality expectation. Some could expect zero defect. Other will say, I want everything within budget. Some will say 1 or 2% defect is okay, but I need everything to be on schedule. Another customer could say, I want everything to conform to specifications. And as a Six Sigma professional, it is our responsibility to understand the quality requirement of each customer and satisfy that. Whenever we talk about quality, there are two broad levels of quality that we generally talk. One is the product quality, which ideally talks about the input and the output quality, more so about the output quality. And there is another quality, which is the process quality. But try to understand one thing. If the process quality of producing the product is not improved, the product or service or the output cannot actually improve. So product quality is very much dependent on the process quality or process quality improvement. And Six Sigma as an initiative is always striving towards process quality improvement or focus on the process of an organization to be improved. Now, whenever we talk about process quality improvement, a question comes, what is a process? A process, every organization has a process. A process could be defined as a set of activities and tasks that we do one after the other to achieve something. That achieve something could be a product, it could be a service, whatever finally goes to the customer. Now, for any process that we have in any organization, there are ideally three components of a process. One is a laid down procedure. Another are the tools and techniques or technologies that we use in the organization in addition to the procedure, and the people or the employees of the organization who uses the procedure and the tools and techniques. So that constitutes the total process of an organization. Whenever we talk about process and execution of a process, Edward Deming, one of our quality guru, he had suggested a component or a plan, which is called the PDCA cycle. PDCA, that is plan, do, check, act. In Six Sigma, planning is very, very strongly done. It is very, very important. So first, whenever you undertake a big amount of work or a very important or urgent work, you have to first plan it out. Then do as per the plan. Then you check whatever I planned and whatever I did. Are these commensurate to each other? If required, act upon it, make some changes as applicable, then go to check the plan again. So this PDCA goes on in a vicious cycle within the organization process. Whenever we talk about quality, some organizations emphasizes on product quality, some on process quality, some on service quality, some on value addition, etc., etc. All these are the customized quality for that particular organization. Whenever we talk about ISO, PMMI, capability maturity model integrated for IT organizations, we talk about lean management, Six Sigma, total productive maintenance. All these initiatives are somehow connected to the umbrella that is the total quality management. Now, under total quality management, there are eight principles that are very important for any organization to be followed. One is customer focus, that is, focus on the customer. Involvement of employees in the organization to execute a process, very good working relationship with the suppliers, a proper systematic and structured approach to the management of the processes, process approach, process focus, having a proper leadership to monitor and track the movement, continual improvement. It means doing an improvement to a process and sustaining that, and factual approach to decision making. That is, any decisions that we make should be backed up by proper data and facts. Out of this, customer focus, point number one. Point number five, process focus. Point number seven, continual improvement. And point number eight, factual approach to decision making. These four areas are specifically very important in a Six Sigma initiative. Whenever we talk about process, the first thing that we should know now is what is a project. Every organization has a project, does some project or the other. What is a project? A project is a temporary endeavor to achieve something, that achieves something, whatever we want to achieve. That could be a product, that could be a service. So whenever we talk about Six Sigma as an initiative, we actually talk about Six Sigma as a project. We do Six Sigma projects to improve process related to a particular area and then improve the product or service and make our customer satisfied, because the ultimate boundary of any Six Sigma initiative is it starts with a customer's dissatisfaction and it ends by making that customer satisfied. So the question can come, how can a project also fail? A project can fail if there is no proper estimation process or there is an inefficient estimation, if the requirement of the customer are not properly understood, lack of project planning and monitoring, not having available resources, whether human resource, whether machineries, etc., because of which the execution of the process is not done properly, not understanding the customer's expectations properly, lack of process or standards because of which the execution is not done properly, configuration management, which talks about the baselining of different documentations, always having the latest one in place, reviews and testing, not having proper reviews and testing in a service organization, no proper quality control, quality checks in the manufacturing organization, and staff attrition. These are very common across organizations. One or the other, any of these reasons could lead to a project fail in an organization. Six Sigma, we have discussed that it is a customer focused attitude, and all decisions are data driven, not on gut feel. No gut feel, no guess estimate works in a Six Sigma initiative. Everything should be backed by proper data. When I say I have a huge problem, we have to define that huge. On what basis I am defining that huge? Key goals of Six Sigma: understand the mindset. Six Sigma initiative, not only Six Sigma, when we discuss lean, we will understand. Both lean and Six Sigma talks about mindset change, a cultural change in the organization environment. It talks about sustain the improvement for times to come with continual monitoring. Because I told you, Six Sigma is a continual improvement process and savings to the organization. Whenever a process is improved, the amount of efforts that you save towards rework, rectification, if we multiply that hours with a red card per employee who work on that, we will get a monetary value. That is the monetary value that we save by doing a successful Six Sigma project. Six Sigma benefits. Any problem in the process will not lead to a Six Sigma initiative. Any process, check the last bullet. To do a project, the immediate solution to the problem is not known. If somebody says that I have a problem in my process, but I also know the solution, but what would be the answer? Yes, please do it. If you know the solution, just do it. But Six Sigma initiative will be applicable when there is a problem, but the immediate solution is not apparent. People don't know how to solve it immediately. They have to analyze, explore, and then find out. That is a perfect example or scope of a Six Sigma initiative. There are different forms of trainings which are very common across the globe towards Six Sigma. First one is the Six Sigma yellow belt training, where you understand the concepts of Six Sigma and you become aware of all the tools, techniques, when to use, etc., etc. Six Sigma Green Belt, I would say that is the first training where you learn Six Sigma to a quite a good extent. You understand the concepts here also. You understand many statistical tools and techniques, their applicability, the many quality tools and techniques, and also few management techniques. Lean Six Sigma black belt training is the higher up the order. That is an advanced training where whatever you have learned in the green belt or yellow belt, you learn the same thing in a black belt, addition to many additional and advanced statistical tools and techniques, management tools and techniques, and also quality tools and techniques. The duration of an yellow belt training varies from organization to organization, starting from 4 hours to a full day. Of course, green belt training duration will be much more than in yellow belt because you learn more things. And finally, black belt training duration also will be also more than a green belt because there also you learn many advanced and additional things. Six Sigma evolution. Six Sigma as an initiative started off around the year 1960 in Toyota production system in Japan. They used to call it just-in-time manufacturing that time. But the modern Six Sigma that we see nowadays originated from around the year 1985-86 in organization in US, Motorola. And in 1995, GE was the organization who started off Six Sigma in a very big way. And I was very fortunate to have joined this organization, G, in 1998, and I learned a lot of from this particular area. Y is equal to F into X. You can write it down. Y is the output, F is the process or function, and X are the input or inputs. So what does it mean? Output is created from inputs, put it under production, put it under process. Is that something new that you people don't know? Everybody knows. We take inputs, we put it under process, we get output. All knows. But one thing, if you notice, why is the output coming first? Because in a Six Sigma initiative, the ultimate concentration is to give improved product or service to the customer. So the concentration is always on the improved products. That's why the output is coming first. But our focus as Six Sigma initiative or Six Sigma project or Six Sigma professional, it is always on the F, or the focus is always on the process. So focus is on the process, concentration is on the output. Whenever we talk about Six Sigma, I told you, we ideally start with a customer's dissatisfaction and end with a customer's satisfaction. So this dissatisfaction of the customer is called by a term which is called VOC, or voice of the customer. Voice of the customer or the dissatisfaction of the customer can come in various ways from the customer. Through one-to-one interviews, we can have it, one-to-one calls, one-to-one interviews. Next is surveys, customer satisfaction survey. The customer rates us on all the parameters which we serve to the customer. Ideally, it should be rated between 1 to 10, where 8, 9, 10 is what is expected. Good, excellent, and superlative performance. But if the customer is not happy with some performance, he will put a low rating. That is an area which can be improved possibly in a Six Sigma way. Focus groups. In banking sectors, we see customer relationship manager who can take the customer's feedback on some services. Customer complaints or escalations at the last resort when the customer is not happy. When the customer is not happy, he either escalates or complains. That way, he is not happy with something. So, these are the different common ways of collecting the voice of the customer, or we understand how or why a customer is dissatisfied or unhappy. Now, whenever a customer is unhappy, we have to ultimately make him happy. So we need to understand what the customer wants. So this target, which is given by the customer in order to make him happy, is called critical to quality, or CTQ. So from the VOC, we derive the CTQ, and from the CTQ, we derive the upper and the lower specification limits. Let me give an example. Suppose the customer was fed up with very bad quality products being sent to him. So he now gives you a target that was, I can allow maximum less than equal to 2% defects. That means 98% quality, minimum I will need. Maximum 2% defects I will allow. So maximum 2% defect less than equal to 2% defect means what? 210, right? Within 0 to 2, it will fluctuate, maximum 2. So if that is the CTQ, then your upper specification limit or USL will be 2%. Your lower specification limit will be 0%. So from the VOC, we derive the CTQ. From the CTQ, we derive the upper and the lower specification limits. ISO 9001 defines or governs the process of an organization, and Six Sigma, in addition to ISO, provides the tools and techniques which could be applied in an organization to make the processes work more robust or more better way, more flexible way. CMMI, this assessment is applicable to IT organizations, capability, maturity model integrated, which focus mainly on key focus areas, that is project management, requirement management, measurement management, causal analysis and resolution, like this. There are many parties to a Six Sigma initiative. Whenever in any organization Six Sigma is being practiced, there could be many parties. First is a sponsor. Sponsor is the process owner of the process that is going to get improved. Suppose Mr. A is the departmental head of the operations department, and Mr. B is improving the operations departmental process. So Mr. A is the sponsor because he owns the process. So after improvement of the process, eventually the process has to be officially handed over to departmental A head, which is Mr. A. So he is the sponsor. Black belts are always good to have in an organization who can run the initiative, guide the green belts also. Green belts, definitely, in order to run a Six Sigma initiative in an organization, green belts are definitely should be there. Yellow belts are also good to have. At least there should be team members who are aware of the Six Sigma initiative and can help the green belts. So black belts and yellow belts, I would personally say it is always good to have, but at least green belt sponsor and team members must be there to initiate and run the Six Sigma initiative, at least in the initial stages. Any problem or pain area might not lead to a Six Sigma project. Anything which does not have an immediate solution will only lead to a Six Sigma project opportunity. It's a methodical approach statistically and qualitatively. As I told you, it has statistical tools and techniques and also quality tools and techniques, and it leads to definite savings and improves the process of an organization. And it has to be constantly reviewed and retuned, constantly reviewed and retuned so that we can understand to improve the performance. Whenever we talk about Six Sigma as an initiative, there are two methodologies of Six Sigma. One is the DMAT methodology on the left-hand side and DMAT-V methodology on the right-hand side. DMAT methodology applies when there is an existing process in an organization and you want to improve on that existing process. DMAT-V or DFSS, Design for Six Sigma. This methodology applies when in an organization there is no process or no design and you want to implement a complete new process or a new design. In those cases, DMAT-V methodology comes into place. Both for DMAT and DMAT-V, there are 5 phases of Six Sigma project. Globally, 85 to 90% of Six Sigma projects are of DMAT methodology, 10 to 15% are DMAT-V methodology. In DMAT, there are 5 phases: define what is the problem, measure how much is the problem, analyze why is the problem, improve how to improve the problem, and control how to control the improvement. For DMAT-V methodology, define is the same. What is the problem? For measure phase, there is no data because the process or design does not exist. But what are the problems we face for not having a process or design that we can collect? Analyze phase, how to introduce a new process in DMAT-V. Design phase, what could be the new process or new design we explore and verify or validate. It talks about check the completed design or process and transition eventually to the customer. DFSS or Design for Six Sigma is the methodology that we use where demand is applied. And DFSS is used when we are making a new process, a new product, or a new service. Addition to DMAT-V, two other methodologies, IDOF and DCCDI, are also applied in a very few organizations, but these are not very widely used. So for a new process or new design, DMAT-V is the most commonly used methodology. But this demand V methodology or DFSS methodology, I would say, might involve some more cost burden for the organization. If you want to design a specific design where you need some designs tools to be purchased or some specially skilled design resources to be brought back to the organization, in those cases, it might have an impact of additional cost to the organization, which could have been avoided by simply improving the process. But if the situation is such that you need to have this new design or new process, you need to have that. As I said, Six Sigma is a cultural change or a mindset change in the organization. And Edward Deming, our quality guru, he said 85% of the reasons for failure to meet the customer's expectations are because of problem in the process, not the people. So we should not go into a fault finding exercise from the very beginning when something is going wrong. We should actually go into a fact finding exercise. And the role of management is to change the process rather than pushing individuals to do better. It could happen that 10 to 15% of the cases, it could be because of the problem, but those are very small and number. Highly, we have to concentrate on the process. Because of the process being faulty, the output becomes faulty or displeasing for the customers. Whenever we talk about customers, we talk about three stages of customer satisfaction, which has been designed by Narioki Kano, one of the quality analysts from Japan, through a model which is called Kano model. He says that there are three stages of customer satisfaction. First one must be. That is the bare minimum expectation. If he wants product A to be delivered on time, we have to send product A. That is the minimum expectation, must be. Satisfier or comforter is the level where the customer gets satisfied for what he wants. If the customer wants 98% quality, you give him 98% quality. He can still allow 2% defects. He is satisfied and comfortable. But delighter comes when you overachieve and give him something additional. That is, he asked for 98%, but you have achieved 100%. If you give him 100%, he will be delighted because that is beyond his expectations. But my caution will be don't try to delight the customers at the first instance. Whenever you overachieve, try first to sustain that overachievement. Sustain for some time, maybe for 6 months, 9 months, whatever you want. Sustain it. When you feel that, yes, your improvement is well sustained, then you can surely go and delight the customers, but not immediately. If you see the diagram on the right hand side, if you see the diagram on the right hand side, must be, of course, is at the bare minimum because that is something which has to be done. Satisfaction is at the top because that is the ultimate level which you have to do to satisfy the customers. Delighters also are moving from left to the top, but if you see, there are downward arrows. That means there are risks involved to delight the customers. So we should not ideally try to delight the customers immediately. Let us first sustain what we have done. If we are very sure after 6 months or 7 months that everything is working fine, then we can move ahead. Whenever we talk about a term which is called key performance indicators, there are many key performance indicators in an organization, like productivity, first turn right, defect-free deliverables, effort variance, schedule variance. Similarly, there is one KPI which is very common in the quality management purpose, which is the cost of quality. That is the cost we incur towards maintenance of quality. This cost of quality is divided into two parts. One is cost of good quality, another is cost of poor quality. What is cost of good quality? Cost of good quality is those quality that we incur to maintain a good quality. Examples: trainings, reviews and testing, quality control and quality checks, audits, etc. Give one example. Training. Why do we give training to people? We give training to people so that their skill metrics improves. When their skill metrics improves, they are expected to commit less mistakes. When they commit less mistakes, finally, less defects are expected to go to the customer, or no defects are expected to go to the customer. So by giving a training, eventually I am helping towards a reduction of defects. So it is a cost of good quality. Same with reviews and testing, quality control, quality checks, etc. Cost of poor quality, that concept is completely different. Cost of poor quality means that we have already generated a poor quality. Now the customers have returned us back the defective items, and now we work on the rework, rectification, etc. So we are working on this rework rectification because we have generated a very poor quality. So these are cost of poor quality. Cost of poor quality should be always tried to make it zero if possible, and cost of good quality should be always tried to balance or control. Toll gate review or checkpoint review or quality gate review is a review that we do after each phase is complete. After define, after measure, after analyze, after improve, and after control. What do we do? After we are done with a phase, we check for the completion whether whatever we are supposed to do in this phase, are we done to the fullest extent? We can prepare our own checklist based on the work that we are supposed to do. Everything looks great. You can move to the next phase. That could be one outcome. Another outcome could be some minor changes are required. Let's do that and then move on to the next phase. Worst thing could be some major changes are required. Generally, it does not happen. Major changes are required. Let's do those changes. Let's do another round of tollgate review and then move to the next phase. Having a tollgate review, which should be a formal review with documented evidences, like minutes of the meeting, actions, everything should be documented. Having a tollgate review helps to avoid rework for any phase of work. Whenever we talk about Six Sigma as an initiative, we talk about project benefits. There are generally four levels of benefits we talk about. Level 1 and 2 are hard benefits. Level 3 and 4 are soft benefits. Level 1 is impact profitability hard benefits. Level 2 are hard benefits which impacts cash flow. Level 3, soft benefits which affects the future opportunities, and level 4 are non-financial benefits, mostly intangible in nature. Level 1 hard benefits like improve capacity of production, increase product pricing, reduce cost of operations. In level 2 hard benefits which impacts cash flow are reduce the inventory that a company carries, get payment from the customers on time or before time. Level 3 soft benefits which involves future opportunities are reduce usage of office space but not put out for rent, improve production capacity, eliminate the chance of getting penalty. These are all for future opportunities. And as I said, level 4 are soft benefits for non-financial benefits. That is, improve the goodwill, improve the customer satisfaction, improve the employee satisfaction, etc. Benchmarking is a very important technique, management technique that we use in case of total quality management and very well applicable in case of Six Sigma also. Benchmarking is understanding others. Benchmarking in simple words means understanding others. Types of benchmarking are three: internal, competitive, and strategic. Internal benchmarking means suppose in an organization there are different cross functions. Different cross functions. Suppose in the quality team feels that there is a good practice being done in the HR team, which, with some exceptions, I think we can also use to make our process better. That is an internal benchmarking. We take the good practices from some other cross functional department internal to the organization and do it. Competitive benchmarking, which is most common benchmarking, is understanding the competitors in the market. Every business does it, right? We understand the competitors and try to be at par with them in the market. Strategic benchmarking. Strategic benchmarking happens between organizations when they go beyond their way of work. An automobile organization tries to understand something from a government sector, if any good practices are there, how it can be also applied with some exceptions and alterations, maybe in our organization. That is the strategic benchmarking. Whenever we talk about Six Sigma as an initiative, we talk about green belts and black belts. What is the difference between a green belt and black belt? That is a very common question. Now, green belts and black belts, the difference, I will say, comes in three folds. One, from the training perspective, which I said already, whatever you learn in the green belt, statistical knowledge, quality tools and techniques, statistical tools and techniques, management tools and techniques. You learn more things in a black belt training. Okay, that is from the training perspective. From second difference is from the project perspective. Now, what is a green belt project? What is a black belt project? There is ideally every organization has to define their own criteria, but summarily, I can say whenever the scope of work is very restricted or small or limited, you can term it as a green belt project. Wider scope of activities, bigger chunk of work, it can be termed as a black belt project opportunity. And the third difference, which I say is the most important, is the role that they play. A green belt person executes and leads a green belt project till completion. A black belt project also leads and executes a black belt project till completion. At the same time, a black belt plays two different roles. They act as a mentor to other green belt projects for their hand-holding, training as required to complete their projects. Also, they act as a bridge between the management of an organization and the Six Sigma or projects to take some decisions on behalf of the management for or on behalf of the management for the Six Sigma initiative. Quality function deployment. Quality function deployment or house of quality, I would say it is majorly used in manufacturing organizations. We can understand. This is an example which I will take you through. This organization has first understood what are the customer's requirement through a customer survey. These are all marked in the brown colored columns. Complete resolution, first time resolution, good customer service, on time delivery. Then what are their importance in a range of 1 to 5? Based on discussion with the customer, we have this organization has recorded the customer's requirement and their importance as understood from the customers. Now, the second step is the orange colored columns, which talks about technical requirement. That is, this organization now explored that in order to meet this customer's requirement, what are the technical requirements we should have in our organization? They analyzed. We should have good experienced people. Training should be very strong in our organization. We should have a good technology working over here. Process tools awareness and quality monitoring awareness should be very strong. And also, we should have a very good working culture. The next columns we discuss are the yellow columns, which are called the interrelationship block. Interrelationship block ideally should be rated as 5310. 5 means strong relationship, 1 means weak relationship. So between complete resolution and experience, that should be marked as 5. That means in order to meet complete resolution, experience of the people are having a strong relationship. Only if people are very experienced, they will be able to do complete resolution. This way, whatever the organization has felt, they have marked it as 5, 1, and 3. Next, we come to the green colored columns. The first column is our product. Now, this organization uh, rates their product in whatever way they meet the customer's requirement, like complete resolution, how much our product makes in the market. So you see, our products should be also rated between 1 to 5. They have rated everything between 3 and 2. So it is not very promising. Then here they have done a benchmarking, competitive benchmarking, if you could recollect, and they have understood two competitors' rating in the market, where you see both the competitors' rating are somehow better than our rating. So the next column comes planned rating. How much will be the planned rating? Our planned rating should be at par with the other organizations so that we can compete in the market. In the first row, our product is at 3, competitor A is at 4, B is at 4. So we should be also at 4. Then what is the improvement factor? Improvement factor is the ratio between planned rating and our product rating. So the first row, 4 by 3, we have to improve by 1.3. Second row, it is 4 by 2. So we have to improve by 2. And then the sales point. Sales point is how the sales team who actually sells our product rates our product. So that rating should ideally come in the form of 1.1, 1.3, and 1.5. The next column in the green colored columns is the overall weightage. How is the overall weightage calculated? Overall weightage is calculated as a product between the sales point into improvement factor into customers' importance. This way, we have collected the overall weightage. And finally, we come at the bottom, that is the technical priorities. How is technical priorities calculated? Technical priorities is calculated by summing up the product of the interrelationship weighting, that is the yellow colored columns, with the overall weightage of each row. So this way, if you see, training is giving the maximum figure, 244, followed by experience and process tools and quality monitoring. That means in order to come out with a new process or a new design, ideally, or to improve a process, these 4 areas are the most important areas that we should concentrate upon. Balance scorecard. Maybe many of your organization, you have heard of this term balance scorecard or BSC, which is a very common term, and the management reporting, which is an MIS reporting. What happens? The organization performance parameters are disclosed in the form of 4 parameters: finance, customer, internal business, and organizational capacity. Basically, in a RAG way, RAG chart way. RAG means red, amber, green. So, in that is whether the finance is green or red or amber, customer is red or green or amber, or internal business is red or green or amber, or organizational capacity, or the fourth one can change. Here it is showing organizational knowledge and innovation. Some organization can put stress on the training or the work culture, whatever they feel. Generally, finance, customer, and internal business are quite common. So automatically, when I generate a rack chart, there should be a criteria defined for each of these perspective. On what basis we will define red, amber, green. So if you see, this is a balanced scorecard matrix for one organization for the month of January 2019. If you see, all the performance are green other than the learning and growth towards the employee opinion survey. So the HR team can think of whether this employee opinion survey process is going something bad over there. Can we improve on this? And can we do this improvement through a Six Sigma initiative? So that is how a balanced scorecard preparation and reporting is related to Six Sigma as an initiative. change management. People are reluctant to change. The leader is saying, I don't want to change. I want all of you to change, rather. See the left hand side picture. All senior people are meeting, and what they are saying. What if we don't change at all and something magical just happens? And what about the right hand side? Very funny picture. From the top, the leader is asking, who wants change? Everybody raises hand. Next one, he says, who wants to change? All the hands have gone down. Finally, he says, who wants to lead the change? Everybody has fled the scene. Now, this change management process is done with the help of 8 steps, which are called 8 quarters, 8 step change model. First one, if you try to convince majority of your employees how this change is necessary, change in the process is necessary. Step two, form a team who will run the change management process in your organization. Step three, set the vision, that is in next 3 months where we want to achieve, next 6 months what we want to achieve. You have to convince, you have to gain their confidence so that only the change management can be successful. Step four, have all sorts of vehicles, all modes of communication present in the organization to publicize that some change management process is on its way. Step five, empower people to do the change management in the organization. Don't just dump on them, but empower power. Empower the authority to them. It will be done better. Plan for visible performance improvement to keep employees committed. You prepare MIS reports maybe every quarter, every 6 months, and show that it is not that we have done this just because we thought of doing. Look, this is the good thing that we are achieving. This will lead to a good process, a much improved process, shortened time, customers will be happy, and we will also have a good work-life balance. Something like this we have to do. Step number 7 talks about don't let up. Don't let the momentum go down. Always keep on the momentum up. And embedded the new ways through training and continuity. Continue the change management process culture. Continue the culture, sustain that culture if required through proper trainings and as required by the organization. With this, I come to a close of module 1. Further discussions we will have in module 2. Thank you.